Hey, it's Mary, and I'm back with another Project Life spread. This week I'm going to be working on my part one of the entire month of March. I have already done one insert for March. I have one more planned for March, which is my son's birthday. I do include on my part two of March a little bit of my son's birthday, but I need a full insert for that event alone. So March will be packed full with lots of memories for sure. I'm going to be using the Ellie's Studio March kit, and I ended up subscribing to them in March, but I knew that I wanted to use the coinciding kit with the coinciding month. So because I knew that the colors would go great, and they have, specific themes for each month that work together with that month. So now I get to start diving in and using them, and I'm really excited. So here I've just grabbed out, this is just a little triple tray thing from, I think it was like a refrigerator bin kind of a thing that I've had for a while. And what I do is I keep a lot of small embellishments that I think would be good for Project Life specifically. And I have them separated out by like icons and then medium to large words and small, tiny words. So I just go digging through it when I feel like I need something. And that works for me. And so I've just grabbed a little piece of ephemera that said hello on it, and I cut off the March from that card that came in the Ellie Studio. I didn't necessarily need the 3, and I didn't want to fill up an entire pocket with that filler card because I have a pretty heavy photo spread now that I'm doing it by a month instead of weekly. So I'm using the cards more creatively, I feel like. This photo here is a picture of my daughter and her grandpa, and they're just dancing in our living room, and it was so super sweet. So I'm going to grab a little piece of ephemera. I'm going to search around and see what would work best. And I ended up using this little gray one and then another blue one. And the gray one says like world's greatest for grandpa. And the blue one has a little sentiment on it, and you'll see that in the close-ups. Unfortunately, I am no longer at home. I'm on my way to North Carolina, so I don't have my Project Life spread sitting in front of me, but I did do close-ups of everything so that you guys can see in the end. So here's another trick that I used. I know that I'm not going to be able to use all of these cards, and I want to be able to use as much of this kit as possible because it all coordinates together. So what I have done is just used what I could to make other embellishments. Like this journaling card was perfect as a little label so that I could do some journaling on it, and then I'll still have the other side of it that I can use as a piece of ephemera. So I feel like, if you want to make your kits stretch a little bit more, then just go ahead and cut them up and use them in new, different ways. So I'm almost done with this card. I'm just going to do my journaling now about how Grandpa is definitely the world's best grandpa, and my kids just adore him. So here I am. I'm going to grab out some tiny word stickers, and it takes me forever to find the sticker that I want. So 5 hours later, and I figured out the one that I wanted. I'm going to go through some of these other sticker sheets. They're me and my big ideas Mambi sheets that sometimes they work really, really well. And I wanted to find something specifically that said dance on it. And I ended up giving up after a certain while when I couldn't find the word dance specific, and just going on to the next card. So here's a card of my son and my daughter. They're outside playing. It's now springtime, and they're finding the frogs and all of the little flowers that are coming up in the yard. And what I originally thought I would do would be just like one card at a time, but these little 3x4 cards need to be trimmed down a little bit, and that would leave just too much empty space in their pocket. So I really needed to back all of those cards with another with another card. So I can't really do that without seeing the entire spread. So you're going to see a lot of that in this video of me putting all of the cards away to work on the one card I want to work on, and then bringing them all back out to make sure that I don't have a yellow card next to a yellow card or a pink card next to a pink card. So that's kind of what you see me doing there. And again, I just used these cards. They were perfect for backing those photos, because I don't, you get so many of these Project Life cards, especially if you're subscribed to a kit, that I don't feel bad at all about, wasting the center space of it if I don't feel like this is something that I'm really going to use in any other way. So I am bringing out this card of my son. Now, I thought I would originally use this card that says super cool, but that was from a different kit, from a different month. And after I ended up gluing everything down, I really just didn't like the way that it felt with all of the other cards. There was a blue bird up in that Hello Spring card up on the right-hand side, but the fonts didn't go together, and after everything was all said and done, I just really didn't like it. So you'll see me end up changing that, and I love the end result with the card that I finally do end up using. So after I go through and pick these cards that I'm wanting to use, I end up bringing some back in from my stash as well, which was really kind of a learning curve for me. Like, yeah, go ahead and use all of those kit pieces that you can use. But if you're not finding something that's working for you within that kit, then pull from your stash too. You don't have to be just confined to that kit. And I know that in other areas of my life, but with scrapbooking, I tend to pull in like pieces from my stash. But Project Life is so new to me that I thought I really wanted to stick with this kit to see if this would help me with card choices. Maybe I was getting overwhelmed with card choices. But I ended up still going back to my stash. So it's still all new to me. Here I'm working on a card that so the card on the bottom right is a really sweet picture of my daughter and I that my husband took. We were taking a bath together, and he took this picture so tastefully, because you can't see any, private parts. But it was my daughter and I, we were both extremely sick this week. And so I wanted to document that, because this was a time of both of us being sick and me really embracing that. And she, she is a huge snuggler when she's sick. And instead of me being really annoyed with the fact that here we have a sick kid and now I'm sick, it just dawned on me, like, this is the time in their life that they receive what comfort means to them. When you think of comfort food, or you're sick and you think of being comforted during your sick time, you go back to those moments when you're a kid and your parents are comforting you. And so it was just really placed on my heart this week, like, I'm developing that meaning of comfort for her. So what does that look like to her? Does it look like me taking as many baths as she wants me to take with her? Does it look like me comforting her and sitting and watching movies together, tickling her back, that kind of thing? And it really just embracing it and allowing myself to serve her comfort needs. So it was a really special time of being sick. And then I also documented what essential oils that we use when we're sick, because, when my kids are older and they're looking back, they might need to know what oils to use on their kids. Who knows? I'm always thinking ahead. So here are some of these Ellie Studio puffy hearts, and I put a few of them on my spread, and I just love them. I stapled this one down with my tiny attacher, and because I stapled that, I needed to of course, go back through the spread and staple on a few other areas. I ended up just doing some sketchy outlining on a few of the cards, so that tied it all in together. So it's kind of my sneaky way that I'm tying in cards is if I, do that outline on one card, that I'm going to do it in a way that draws your eye around the page. So it doesn't necessarily have to be on the entire card, because on that, the kind of the title card where March was, I went ahead and did the sketch just around that little March banner that I made, and that definitely worked for what I needed up in that top left corner. So here I'm putting down some enamel dots, and I'm just adding them in again to draw your eye around the page. I put them in the middle of that top card, and you'll see in the close-up, so underneath the heart, my kids are running out through the wheat field, and there's a huge, huge moon up in the sky that they were checking out. And I ended up ripping the photo paper, so I put down the puffy sticker again, and then I just found a tiny phrase sticker and put that there, and that worked. If I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't have anything there because it just was a little bit too busy for me, but YOLO, you only live once, I guess. So here I'm looking and seeing what else can I do, and I wanted to take that green floral paper that I pulled out of a 6x6 paper pad and bring it up to the top right corner. And as you see, I'm getting to the end, and I'm going to put some Shimmer's Mist on it, and the whole thing freaking goes everywhere. I was so mad. Oh my goodness. I took the time to pick out these cards perfectly, and I was loving the way that it looked. I just wanted a few shimmers, splatters in certain places, and it just dumped all over my card. So I ended up covering up the mess on this photo collage with the pink papered background with just a little label. And I really thought that I was going to have to redo this whole card because it was just a mess. So I ended up going with this little blue label, and I put that down, and then I stuck Saturday. I stamped Saturday on it because that's the day that we were doing the outside stuff. And then on the journaling spot that it just spilled, I actually liked the way that it looked spilled like that. So I kept it, and it's unique, and and it works. And then I just go back through a couple more of the cards and put a few more splatters on it. And that's going to be it for my layout for today. So next week, you'll see part 2 of my spread. And make sure to go over to Spiegel Mom Scraps and subscribe to their YouTube channel, because the only layout that I will have for the next couple of weeks is going to be for Spiegel Mom Scraps on their channel. So make sure to head over to their channel and click subscribe, because I will be gone for 10 days to North Carolina with my mom, and I won't have any kids with me. So I am going to soak up some sunshine, and I am going to have some fun by myself with my mama. And so you're going to just have to bear with me while I'm gone. Thank you for letting me take a vacation, and I can't wait to see you next time. All right, you guys, like, subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye.